Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Hammer Productions night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Up the Creek, released in 1958. Directed by Val Guest, from a script by Guest, Len Heath, and John Warren. Starring David Tomlinson, Peter Sellers, Wilfrid Hyde-White, Vera Day, Liliane Sottane, Tom Gill, Michael Goodliffe, John Warren, and Lionel Jeffries. Now, there's a lot of American, U.S. people that don't really get British humor. And even though I have not seen, till this point, I had not seen any of the Hammer comedies that they had done. I have seen British comedies before. I've seen Laurel and Hardy, I've seen Benny Hill, I've seen Fawlty Towers, I've seen Monty Python, and I've seen Peter Sellers. So I wasn't in the green about this, and I knew what I was getting myself into with a British comedy. And I don't have any, problems figuring out the jokes and enjoying the jokes in a British comedy. And this one's no different. I mean, it is, when we're first introduced to Wilfrid Hyde-White's Admiral Foley, I immediately got vibes of Stan Laurel from him in this. And I know he's kind of got that vibe anyway from, seeing him later in films and shows like Buck Rogers when he played in that. But younger here at this point in his career, playing this Admiral Foley, I just felt like, what you would have gotten if Stan Laurel had played in this as this Admiral character. He's got that voice where he just sounds so much like Stan Laurel. That kind of threw me off as far as his performance in this. But eventually I started getting, okay, I'm used to it now. But he was great as the Admiral Foley character. And in the opening scene, we are introduced to our lead character, David Tomlinson, as Lieutenant Fairweather. And he is pretty much a bumbling idiot who nobody wants on their military bases anywhere in the British Navy. So they have ended up deciding to transfer him over to this command of this vessel that hasn't been used in a while. And at this vessel, it turns out Peter Sellers' character has been leading men, and he's taken over the place and made it a area where they're doing things to the community, like delivering eggs to them, delivering laundry, liquor to a bar. But they're doing these things for the townspeople, and they're making some money off of it because they're paying them for their services. So when Fairweather takes over the vessel, he has no clue of what is going on underneath his nose here. And it makes for some really fun hijinks here. Now, David Tomlinson starts off, being portrayed as, yes, he's this bumbling idiot. But once he gets to the vessel alongside Peter Sellers, he's not portrayed as such a doofus. And, yes, he's naive and doesn't realize what's going on under his nose here. And he's, his focus is just on his little missile that he's trying to set up on this vessel to continue working on it and perfecting it. But he's not portrayed as this bumbling idiot that he was we were told of early on the film. So this isn't a slapstick kind of a film because of that character or anything like that. It isn't until Liliane Sottane's character of Suzanne ends up cluing him in kind of what the people on that vessel are doing, that he finally figures it out. And when he does, of course, Peter Sellers is ready and comes up with some blackmail to get out of the trouble that they're in. It's just a fun and interesting comedy film. And ironically, it's directed by Val Guest of all people, and this guy did a lot of dramatic films for Hammer Productions, and this is totally not what I expected to see from Val Guest, but just shows what a talent he was as a director. He could direct anything. And this is quite funny. Some of the gags in this are pretty funny, and some of the actors, even though it's kind of played straight, and the laughs are more just fun. It's not, like I said, it's not slapstick, it's not goofy, and it's not over the top as far as the humor in this. So, and I appreciated that. But there is one moment near the end that kind of, you could tell they didn't have the budget to pull that scene off, when the rocket goes straight up and then comes back down and hits the vessel and sinks it. That scene looks so ridiculous with this fake model and everything. But, it's only a quick shot, and everything. But it did look kind of weird and funny to me. But overall, I think I really enjoyed Up the Creek. I liked the performances all around. It had some really good performances in it. And it was unusual seeing Lionel Jeffries playing in a comedy as well, because the only other thing I had seen him in was The Scarlet Blade. And he gives off a totally different vibe than what he did playing that character in that film. So, but my final review of Up the Creek from 1958. I am going to give this film a 8.6 out of 10. I don't think it's one of the best films that Hammer's ever done, but it was a interesting view for their comedies and everything. So, and this is not the last of the comedies that I'm going to do for the channel. Started them, and now, occasionally a review will be a Hammer comedy. So those of you who've been wanting to see these, I'm covering them as promised. But anyway, what do you guys think of Up the Creek? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And, as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing, and when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members prior to me finding a spot for it on the schedule for everyone else on YouTube to watch. So if you want to get interactive, now is your chance. Well, that's it for another Hammer Productions night. If you missed last week's Hammer Productions night, check out the link up here to get caught up on that one. Or if you missed any of the other Hammer Productions night, be sure and check out the playlist right here to get caught up on any of them that you have missed.